If you're planning to invest in Dubai right now, you have to be extremely selective. Why? Because there are more than 440,000 off-plan units sold in the last 4 years. That's more than the supply we had delivered in the last 15 years. To make a good, lucrative investment, you have to select investments which are highly irreplicable. And that's what we're going to talk about over here. There are only 3 master plans across Dubai where there are government investments worth more than 100 billion dirhams. We've got Dubai South, we've got Dubai Creek Harbour, which is again a phenomenal master plan, but there's only one which is on irreplaceable prime land, where we are having the extension of DIFC 2, also known as the DIFC Za'abeel District. This is the largest expansion of an international financial district in the region, and in my opinion, the most innovative and top-notch, well-planned extension of a financial district. I'm going to tell you guys exactly what this master plan has to offer, the value that it brings to the economy of Dubai, and furthermore take you guys to the exact plot so you can understand the spectacular views that these particular towers, especially the first 4 towers, give out. Because most of the developments that you're going to look at across downtown, the IFC, they're not really going to have views or views that are going to stay for a long time because of the empty plots or the construction that we're going to have in the future. But these, the views that they have, and they're still going to have it handover for a very special reason. Outside of what this master plan offers, we have the most lucrative commercial to residential proportion that you can have in the whole of Dubai. In this particular master plan, we are going to go over all of the metrics that you have to look at, and that will dictate if your investment is a good one or not. It's never the shiny brochures that makes for a great investment, but what the master planning has to offer. And over here, the 100 billion dirhams couldn't have been better planned and laid out. When we look at the first phase, this particular is the first phase where we've got the 4 residential towers. You're looking at about 1,200 residents over here. The first 2 towers have only about 463 meticulously designed apartments. Over here, we are going to have a members club like the one we have in the IFC called the Arts Club. Furthermore, we've got the top 10 business universities, schools that we're going to have, including LBS, Georgetown University, and others. Right next to which a lot of people do not really know, and it is not really shown here on the master plan, is we're going to have one of the entry points of the boring tunnels, which is being built by Elon Musk himself. So these are going to be underground tunnels, which will link you to DIFC, the current DIFC, Emirates Towers, further down to Burj Khalifa Dubai Mall. So you will never be stuck in traffic if you use those tunnels that are being built over here, part of the infrastructure over here. When we speak about the broader master plan, as you can see over here, it's more than double the size of current DIFC, and current DIFC only has about 8,000 companies, more or less. And it is always packed. All of the premium towers, be residential or commercial, are always packed, always rented out, always have one of the highest rentals that you have across Dubai. And the plan with the extension of this financial center is to bring in about 125,000 professionals, to have more than 40,000 companies, and with a residential supply of only 4,000. When we have such high demand and so limited residential supply, because the IFC again is not just a place where people work, people love living over here. If you look at the current DIFC, you've got top tier Michelin restaurants such as Zuma, etc. You've got one of the best hotels. People that work in the IFC, again, it's not just any free zone or business district, it's an international business district which does not follow the local law but the international one. And the companies, the MNCs, the family offices, the hedge funds that are managing not billions but trillions worth of assets only have their offices over here. And with this particular extension and the focus that it has, not just on a financial perspective and the commercial spaces, but the kind of lifestyle you're going to have in this particular community. Just to give you an example, it has got about 20% of the land parcel given to greenery. You've got kilometers long spine parks, inner circles, etc., which are going to have restaurants, which are going to have all of the parking facilities that you can walk around the whole community all day long. This offers about 20% of the greenery. Just to give you a reference, Dubai Hills is one of the most respected green communities and only offers about 13% of green spaces over there. Furthermore, this has got something that no other financial district across the globe has, the first AI dedicated campus right over here. We're going to have a conference center. As you already know, the expo has been moved off towards the south. So the purpose with DIFC is not to have as many people coming to the community or the location, but to have that ultra HNI, to have those financial conferences right over here. We've talked quite a bit about the master plan, especially the phase. It really intrigues me and excites me into what exactly is going to come up in the future in this particular master plan. Again, the ruler's vision is to make it the fourth largest financial district by footprint, but I believe from an innovation perspective, from the kind of lifestyle it's going to have, I believe it can be even higher. We are speaking much about the master plan, but when we look at the numbers, there is one metric, price per square foot. Again, it's phenomenal. The payment terms, etc., all are very, very well divided. But there's one metric that a lot of people forget to look at or do not look at, is how the off-plan resale is going on in that particular area. So when we look at the initial launches that we had across this area, was Jumeirah Residences, Emirates Towers. Back in June, alhamdulillah, I sold multiple units over there. And the initial one-bedroom offerings were about 3.8 to 4 million dirhams. 4 or 5 months after the launch, there were so many people that couldn't get the units over there. We had registered resales of about 4.5 million dirhams right over here. The only time we have off-plan resale, which we really do not because of the amount of supply we have across the city, is when there is a huge amount of demand and there aren't enough developers building over there, and people still want to buy, people still want to be part of that location. That's the only time you're going to have off-plan resales. Again, these were the initial launches. We don't have that movement over here. We just had this earlier this year. And if you look at DIFC Heights by DIFC themselves, in the current DIFC, very blocked views, not the most prime plots, not part of DIFC2, is already selling at a premium of about 10, 15 to even 20%. So these are the numbers, these are the metrics that tells you of this being a one-off investment. We'll go to the plot, give you guys a good idea of how the views look over there, and we'll speak more on the numbers. This is just to give you guys an idea. Right now I'm standing at the exact plot, not of DIFC2, that's over there. We will go to the plot, look at that also. But this is for Jumeirah Residences, Emirates Towers. Just look at the construction that's been done, and we are talking, we are in a so-called crisis right now, and this is how on time the construction has been going on for Jumeirah Residences, Emirates Tower. Again, this is to hand over in 2030. If the developer wanted to, of course, they could delay it a couple months and still complete by time. But this goes to show the strength of the government developers. Everything's well on schedule. We have transacted some units facing Museum of the Future, some looking at the one Za'abeel Tower right over there, higher floors. Again, you get a clear view of the Burj Khalifa. We'll go right at the plot of DIFC2 and show you the view from there. But something which is very, very important to note as to how Dubai responds to such crisis. Sheikh Mohammed's office right over there, and if you want to lease an office, a commercial space, you absolutely cannot. Most of the towers that you see in DIFC, they are already filled. They're increasing in rentals consistently, and that goes on to show you the demand that the new DIFC shall be having in the future. So right now I'm here in this scorching heat, just to give you guys the first-hand look, just to give you guys the on-ground information of where exactly this plot is, how big it is, the scale of it, and the kind of views that you get from here. So this is the whole plot that you see. Constructions, the groundworks are going on as we speak. Again, this is the first phase is to complete about 2030. We'll have the construction of the conference center, of the AI center, of the schools, universities right over there, ready 12 months prior to the handover of the first building. So as we look at the plot right now, this is exactly the plot. You can see how clear of a view we are getting for the one Zaa'beel. So if you can see it right over here, I'll show it to you a better view. So that right over there is the view of the one Zaa'beel. This again is the whole land parcel, more than 7 million square foot with 16.6 million square foot of built up area. I'm standing exactly at the plot, and if I show you guys the view, just take a look at that Burj Khalifa view. You can see it from the bottom to top. We have all palaces in front of it. There is no building plot that will be built on. As per the DDA, Dubai Development Authority, there are no other plots that will be built on. We're going to have the full clear view of the Burj Khalifa just like that, as you see. And on the right hand side, we've got the full Emirates Tower view, Museum of the Future view. Again, you want to be higher, right? We've got the ground floor, then the 2 podiums, and then you have the first floor, right? You see over here, you have an amazing view of the DIFC skyline. You're going to see ICD Brookfield also, not from this angle, from the ground floor, of course. And this is the first 2 buildings plot. Right over there, we're going to have the next 2 buildings. So after these buildings are complete, we will have more residential facilities inside of DIFC2, but it will of course not get a view as such that we are having over here of the Burj Khalifa. If you are looking for that one particular asset which is irreplicable, which is going to have demand, DIFC, regardless of the recessions, regardless of the crisis, we've always had that demand. If you want a true irreplicable and irreplaceable asset, this is one of the only areas, one of the few areas that provides such a lifestyle, such unique selling points, including the community, including the existing demand that you have in the current DIFC, which gives you a clear view of how the demand is going to be. And DIFC currently is filled. You cannot find an empty unit, let it be residential, let it be commercial, you cannot find that. And I'm here in the scorching heat just to give you an on-ground look to exactly what we have over here and the value of this particular plot. There is no other large prime plot across Dubai which is located so good, that too with such a good master plan that we have for this particular community. And whatever you see in the brochures, whatever you see in the master plan is going to be delivered. Again, off-plan research we've had for Jumeirah Residences, Emirates Towers or DIFC Heights is more about the 1 bedrooms, the 2 bedrooms, depending on the unit, etc. that you select on the price per square foot and view may be a better option. But again, we have to discuss all of those things on a detailed call, so I can create you a bespoke investment strategy that suits well with your goals, that suits well with your finances, all backed by actual numbers and not noise. So contact me now. I can provide you the exact payment terms that we have. The prices were about 2.8 to 3.5 million for a 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms averaging about 4.8 to 5 million. And the prices vary a lot upon the view and the floors. One of the units that I sold, again, multiple units at the launch of this. One of the units, for example, the Burj Khalifa facing one on the highest floors were about 3.3. The 21st floor facing DIFC2 were about 3.4 million. The 2 bedrooms were about 4.85 million, having the Burj view. So the prices really vary upon what you're looking for. For a detailed payment plan, for a detailed discussion to see even if this investment suits your goals best, contact me now at my number provided. Thank you. This is Ali Asif, Property Investment Advisor, signing off.